Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Sure, sure. So let us sing these two prayers in the morning in our ISKCON temples. We every morning is a good meditation. When we are in temple means we attend this morning program, complete morning program, including this Govinda Krishna prayers and Guru Vandana. Complete package actually. Srila Prabhupada has given all these 5 prayers. Right, first is Samsara Dava Naralila Loka, then next one is Narsinga prayer, and then third one is Tulsi Maharani prayer. Then 6 Ashtakam prayers we recite and 10 offenses. First 5. After this, after chanting one done, the 2 hours, uh, Darshanarati. The Lord is welcoming all of us to take darshan with new outfit every day, garlands, ornaments, new dress. Actually, in our ISKCON temple habits, every day all the deities they get fresh abhishekams every day. That is there, and yeah, Darshanarati and Guru Vandana. Right, without Guru's mercy, we cannot understand a single word in the scripture. So this is the complete. Srila Prabhupada is given all these prayers in his, especially he started in ISKCON temples. This all helps us to progress in bhakti. If we meditate on these prayers every day, that's it. Yeah, we definitely get that prema bhakti. Yeah, let me sing this. Slide mode, I'm just putting. Slide mode. Okay. So Yamuna Mataji, Srila Prabhupada's wonderful disciple, she has sung this song actually in that, what is that? Apple Records. That Prabhu, what is that Prabhu? George Harrison. George Harrison. He was a great singer.
Beatles, Prabhuji. Beatles.
The Beatles band, yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful prayer, yes.
Prabhuji, your voice is breaking. Maybe you have to reduce the kartal sound little bit.
Kartal sound breaking up voice. Okay.
No, your voice is breaking. Kartal sound is overtaking your voice.
Okay, then it's okay. Then it's okay. I'll do it. ఇప్పుడు voice okay na Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami. Venum Tvanantamaravindalayakaksham Bharhavatam Samastitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarbhakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami. Anganiyasya sakale driyavrittimanti pasyanti panti kalayanti Cheram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jvala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami. ब्रह्म संहितम prayers की जय, लॉर्ड ब्रह्मा की जय, सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉड श्री गोविंदन की जय, ब्रह्म संहितम की जय. Let us do Guru Vandana. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Bandhu moye savadhana mate. Bandhumoye savadhana mate. Jahara prasade bhai e bhava tariya jai. Jahara prasade bhai e bhava tariya jai. Krishna prapti hoy jai de. Krishna prapti hoy jai de. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Koriya Aikya. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Koriya Aikya. Arana Kori Ho Mane Asha. Arana Kori Ho Mane Asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati. Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. Chakkudan dilo jai janne janne Prabhu say. Chakkudan dilo jai janne janne Prabhu say. Divya gyan hriday prakashito. Divya gyan hriday prakashito. Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasha jate. Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasha jate. Vede gai jahara charito. Vede gai jahara charito. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu. 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 Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana. Aha Prabhu Kurodaya Deha More Padachaya. Aha Prabhu Kurodaya Deha More Padachaya. Aha Prabhu Kurodaya Deha More Padachaya. Aha Prabhu Kurodaya Deho more padachaya. Ebe jaj gushuk tribhuvana. Ebe jaj gushuk tribhuvana. Srila Gurudev loyilu charana. Srila Gurudev loyilu charana. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva. Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura, Hari Bol. Shri Guru Vandanam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Can anybody read these translations, Mataji's, Prabhuji's, please? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, go ahead.
The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Anybody? Mataji's, Prabhuji's? One translation, please read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. Can I go ahead with the other ones also, Prabhu?
Yeah. Read.
Yeah. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Loknath Goswami, O master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. So this is a prayer, Guru Vandana prayer in our temples. We do in front of Srila Prabhupada Murti. We worship. So we are part of Brahma Magga Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. We have to glorify Gurus, our Gurus, glorious Vaishnava Sampradaya. They haven't given the knowledge as it is. That's why Srila Prabhupada has written Bhagavad-Gita as it is, without any selfish motive or without any interpretations, personal motive or adulteration. He is giving as it is. Just like Arjuna received the knowledge from Krishna, similarly, without adding plus or minus, just as it is. That's why he specifically put that Bhagavad-Gita as it is. That means the beauty of Vaishnava Sampradaya is we receive knowledge as it is. As that's a realized that helps us realized knowledge. Is a realized knowledge. So if we follow those instructions, Guru's instructions, we also our life will become successful. So that is a Guru Vandana prayer. So let us begin with our Srimad Bhagavatam discussion today. Okay. Yeah. Let me do that quick, then we'll discuss. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Hari. Thank you all very much for joining today in Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Praveen Prabhu, Lilananda Prabhu, Subara Prabhu, Ayyar Prabhu. So let me share in slide mode. 1 second. Yes, I always, whenever I take a Bhagavatam session, I humbly seek my Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada's blessings. My spiritual master and our founder Acharya is Divine Grace Bhaktivinoda Srila Prabhupada, and all the Siksha Gurus who inspired me in my Krishna consciousness. Herein, I connected Gachibowli Satsang since last close to 3 years with Lilananda Prabhuji's inspiration. Whoever I met Siksha Gurus in my Krishna conscious life, I seek blessings and prayers from them. And all of you are assembled here. Please pray for me to give to disclose this message as per and aligned with our Vaishnava Sampradaya. Please pray for me. And I always meditate upon whenever discourse. Sri Panchatatva is Laguna Beach. Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktarama. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. How many of you excited to participate in Jagannath Rath Yatra? Lift your hand, Mata is Prabhuji. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. So these are our beautiful lordships come out to give us blessings. When we pull Ratha Yatra, when we pull Ratha means he is going to take away with minute seconds, he is going to take away all of our sinful activities. That is the power of pulling Ratha. Haribol. So here I serve Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Devi in temple. It's a beautiful experience actually to dress the Lord, bathing, Abhishekam, and all this. Thank you for the opportunity, Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. Our deities, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Devi, Gauranitai. And since today is my birthday, I got my spiritual birth in Gita Nagari, first initiation. I am remembering this deities, Shri Radha, Damodar, Lalita Sakhi, Vishak Sakhi, Shri Gauranitai. And my second initiation in Los Angeles Temple, I am meditating upon their lordships. Shri Shri Gauranitai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Devi, Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish. Yes.
Hare Krishna to you.
Ravi Prabhu
Hare
Tarvan.
Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. Giriraj Prabhuji. Hare Krishna to you. Happy birthday, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
It is so
Prabhu.
wonderful to have your darshan
Thank you
on
so
such an
much for
auspicious morning.
thank you all of you. Thank you so much for your love, Prabhuji and Mother Ravi Prabhu especially. Thank you very much. Let us begin. Let's begin. Yep. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam. So let us recite this. Let us all of us recite these verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanam Namaskritya. Please unmute yourself and please repeat after me. Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim
Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswati.
Tato Jayam Udirayet.
Tato Jayamudire.
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu.
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavati
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke.
Bhagavati Uttama
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
Devaki Nandanaya Cha.
Devaki
Nanda Gopakumaraya.
Nandagopakumaraya.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namaha.
Nama Pankajanabhaya.
Namah Pankajanaಭaya.
Nama Pankajamalini.
Namah
Pankajamaline.
Nama Pankajanetraya.
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namaste Pankajandraye.
Namaste Pankajandraye.
Thank you. Please. So today's topic is I'm choosing the topic about forgiveness in scriptures, in different verses where exactly the forgiveness is emphasizing is in the Bhagavad-Gita. Krishna says that belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. This is one of the quality. Let us go to that verse. Forgiveness belongs to godly men endowed with divine nature. So in Sanskrit, the forgiveness word is kshama, right? Kshama, excuse also there is synonym, excuse, right? Kshama. So today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, The Science of God. The title is Chapter 7, entitled as Prahlada, the best among exalted devotees. There are 3 verses, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so let us discuss those. Let me share the Veda based link and we'll decide. Yeah. So let me read these slokas, let me recite these slokas and we'll do one word by word and then translation. Okay, discussion. Okay, this is Prahlada Maharaj saying, Shri Prahlada Uvacha. Varam varaya etate varadeshan maheshwara yada nindat pitame tvam abidvam steja aishwaram Vidhamarshaya Sakshat Sarvaloka Gurum Prabhum Prartur Heti Mrusha Dristis Tvad Bhakte Mai Chaghavan Tasmat Pitame Puteya Duranta Dustarad Aghat Putaste Panga Samdristas Tadakripana Vatsala. One more time, let me read. Shri Prahlada Uvacha. Varam varaya etate varadeshan maheshwara yad anindat pitame tvam abidvam steja aishwaram vidhamarshaya sakshat sarvaloka gurum prabhum bharturheti mrusha dristis Tvad bhakte mai chaghavan tasmat pita me puyeta duranta dustarad aghat Bhutaste Panga Samdrishtas Tada Kripana Vatsalaha. So please repeat after me, one or two devotees. This one. Shri Prahalad Uvacha. Prahalad Maharaj said,
Sri Prahlad Uvacha. Prahlad Maharaj said,
Varam, benediction.
Varam, benediction.
Varaye, I pray.
Varaye, I pray.
Etat, this.
Etat,
this.
Te, from you.
They from you.
Te, from you.
Varada Isat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who offers benedictions even to such exalted demigods as Brahma and Shiva. Varada Isat.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who offers benediction even to such exalted demigods as Brahma and Shiva.
Mahesh, Maha Ishvara, O my Supreme Lord.
Maha Ishvara, O my
my
Supreme Lord.
Supreme Lord.
Yet that.
Yet that.
Anindat, vilified.
Aninta, vilified.
Pita, Father.
Pita, Father.
May, my.
May, my.
Form, you.
Form, you.
Avidwan, without knowledge of.
Avidwan, without knowledge of.
Tejaha, strength.
Tejaha, strength.
Aishwaram, supremacy.
Aishwaram, supremacy.
Vidha, being polluted.
Vidha, being polluted.
Amarsha, with anger.
Marsha, with anger.
Ashayaha, within the heart.
Ashaha, within the heart.
Sakshat, directly.
Sakshat, directly.
Sarvaloka Gurum, unto the spiritual master of all living beings.
Sarvaloka Guru, unto the supreme spiritual master of all living beings.
Prabhum, unto the supreme master.
Prabhum, unto the supreme master.
Bhartruha, the killer of his brother.
Bharataha, the killer of his brother.
Iti, thus.
Iti, thus.
Mrisha Drishtihi, falsely envious because of false conception.
Mrisha
Drishti.
falsely
Envious because of a
envious
false
because of
conception.
Tvad Bhakte, unto your devotee.
What the bhakti unto your devotees.
Mai, unto me.
My unto me.
Cha, and.
Cha, and.
Aghavan, who committed heavily sinful activities.
Bhagavan,
who committed
heavily sinful
heavy
activities.
sinful acts.
Tasmat, from that.
Tasmat, from that.
Pita, father.
Pita, Father.
Pita, father.
May, my.
May, my.
Puyeta, may be purified.
Uyeta, yet to be
Puyeta, may
purified.
be purified.
Durantat, very great.
Purantat, very great.
Dustarat, difficult to pass over.
Difficult to Dustara, difficult to pass over.
Aghat, from all sinful activities.
Aghat, from all sinful activities.
Putaha, although he was purified.
Utaha, always he was, although he was purified.
Te, of you.
He of you.
Apanga, by the glance over him.
Apaga, by the glance over him.
Samdristaha, being looked at.
Some Drishaha, being looked at.
Tada, at that time.
Tada,
at that time.
Kripana Vatsala, O you who are merciful to the materialistic.
Kripana
Vatsala, oh you merciful
to
the materialistic.
Yeah, thank you very much. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj said, O Supreme Lord, because you are so merciful to the fallen souls, I ask you for only one benediction. I know that my father, at the time of his death, had already been purified by your glance upon him. But because of his ignorance of your beautiful power and supremacy, he was unnecessarily angry at you. falsely thinking that you are the killer of his brother. Thus he directly blasphemed your lordship, the spiritual master of all living beings, and committed heavily sinful activities directed against me, your devotee. I wish that he be excused for these sinful activities. Purport. Although Hiranyakashipu was purified as soon as he came in contact with the Lord's lap and the Lord saw him, Prahlad Maharaj still wanted to hear from the Lord's own mouth that his father had been purified by the Lord's causeless mercy. Prahlada Maharaja offered this prayer to the Lord for the sake of his father. As a Vaishnava son, despite all the inconveniences imposed upon him by his father, he could not forget his father's affection. With Mangalacharana prayer, let us discuss. Okay, so let me. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। ओम तद्विष्णु परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवि वा चक्षुराततं तद्विप्रासोत्पन्नवो जाग्रीवांशः समिन्धते विष्णुर्यत् परमं पदम्। ओम अपवित्र पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं साभ्याभ्यन्तरं शुचिः। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। So in this prayer, even though Sri Prahlad Maharaj, state of consciousness, his father imposed many atrocities, many things. We all know, right? Srila Prahlad Maharaj, how he experienced all the difficulties with his fathers, throwing from hill, snakes biting, and fire, throwing in the fire, different calamities. Even though he experienced all those, his own father actually, his father has to show his love towards his son. Because he's a Vishnu devotee, because he's Vaishnava, because he's a Krishna's devotee, he doesn't like it. Because he has a feeling that Hiranyakashipu, his brother Hiranyaksha, right? So that angry is there. So he wanted to rule over. Actually, there is one discussion. Actually, I have quoted today's entire discussion from my Guru Maharaj. Transcription is there. I'm going to read some of the transcriptions and discuss. Okay, so see, there are two terms, right? We see normally. Para dukkha dukhi and para sukha sukhi, right? So that feeling, Prahlad Maharaj experiencing that, my father is, it's a ghastly killing, Narasimha. Even though he got so many calamities and atrocities from his father, is still affectionate son, requesting Lord to give mercy and deliver. That is a prayer, right? So if you look at the translation, let me read the translation. So one more time, let me read the translation and discuss. Yeah. Prahlad Maharaj said, "O Supreme Lord, because you are so merciful to the fallen souls," right? This is the verse. There is one verse. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu. In one of the Mangalacharya prayer, we recite, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate. He is going to save. Krishna is going to save the fallen souls. And I ask you for only one benediction. What is that? I know that my father, at the time of his death, had already been purified by your glance upon him. But because of his ignorance of your beautiful power and supremacy, so Hiranyakashipu also wanted to, like Krishna, he wanted to rule everything. He don't want to die. You all know that benedictions he got from Brahma, right? But due to ignorance, he don't understand the beautiful form of Krishna and the supremacy of Krishna. He was unnecessarily angry at you, falsely thinking that you were the killer of his brother. Thus, he directly blasphemed your lordship, the spiritual master of all living beings, and committed heavily sinful activities directed against me, your devotee. I wish that he be excused. Please excuse him. Please forgive him for all sinful activities imposed on me. No, that is a prayer of a devotee, pure devotee. Prahlad Maharaj is exemplary, pure devotee. Right? Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu repeatedly hear these pastimes. Repeatedly, number of times. There is no number, unlimited times. He wanted to hear from his devotees these pastimes. Narsimha is Prahlad Maharaj pastime from Bhagavatam 7th canto. So that is a devotee's mood. Paradukha Dukhi. Right? Paradukha Dukhi. So what is that Paradukha Dukhi? If something happens to a person, he is feeling that it is happening to me. That kind of, the feelings. Paradukha Dukhi. Parasukha Sukhi. He also happy about somebody is progressing Krishna consciousness. Somebody is getting nice, good material life, and along with spiritual life, progressing nicely. Parasukha Sukhi, Paradukha Dukhi. Two terms are there, right? So let me share again and let us go through this discussion. Slide more. Paradukha Dukhi. The natural devotion of those purified devotees of Lord Sri Krishna is that they consider nothing of their own happiness or distress, convenience or inconvenience, but they are very much feeling pain upon seeing the distress of others. So here, Prahlad Maharaj is also experienced that he has committed sinful activities, but just forgive Supreme Lord. Narsingadev. What happens? The recording? Something, yeah, I have anyway. Therefore, they are willing to undergo any tribulation to give the mercy of the Lord to those who are in the distressful condition of material existence. So, devotee is one of the qualities, Paradukha Dukhi. So, experience the distress like they are experiencing their own. So, here Prahlad Maharaj is the supreme example of this most illustrious quality. Hiranyakashipu was the most envious, violent creature. These are the words from my Guru Maharaj. Violent creature. His motivation was only to cause harm, pain, and death to his son. But Prahlad Maharaja did not even consider these matters. As a matter of fact, he was only thinking in terms of what little affection his father gave him. Just see how a devotee sees the good even in the most simple person. Just see how a devotee is willing to overlook the faults in others. The devotee has, by the mercy of the Lord, the same qualities as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, endowed with godly qualities, right? Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad-Gita, forgiveness is one of the quality. It's a divine quality. So here, forgiving nature of God. So here, what is the forgiving nature of God? Let us see. We read in the Srimad Bhagavatam of when Putana, the great demoniac Rakshasi, came to Vrajadhama exclusively for the purpose of killing Krishna. How duplicitous she was. She was a horrible, monstrous demon, 8 miles long by nature, but she disguised herself as a friend, as well as wisher, and as well as beautiful heavenly damsel. You know, when a demon is honest, reveals himself to you as your enemy, at least that person is being straightforward. But when your enemy comes to you in this disguise, in the role as your best friend, only to exploit and to ruin and acting. So these are the descriptions Maharaj saying, duplicity, acting to harm us, only to exploit and ruin you. That person is worst person. We have so many enemies in this world. When the enemy admits, I am your enemy, that person is honest. So he is not much our enemy. But when the enemy only wants to cause harm to you, but he plays the role as your best well-wishing friend, only stop you in the back. So backside, they act in different way. See, ముందు ఒకటి దాని తెలుగులో ఒకటి ఉంటుంది కదండి, ముందు ఒకటి వెనుకొకటి. ముందు ఒక మాట మాట్లాడము, వెనుక ఒక మాట మాట్లాడము, ముందు మంచిగా వెనుక ఇంకొక రకంగా. It's duplicity. It's called duplicity. Is a worst enemy, Maharaj saying. Whoever having this quality is duplicity, worst enemy. I mean, we never know until realize at some point. So when you are least expecting it, that person is the worst enemy, is he not? So Putana was like that. Her only motive was to kill Krishna and to destroy all the residents of Vrindavana. She acted as mother, motherly. She came as a mother and breastfeeding to Krishna. But the intention behind is to kill, destroy all residents of Vrindavana. But she was so crooked, cunning, and duplicitous that she disguised herself as everyone's friend and well-wisher. And she entered right into the atla namminchadam anamata. Is that just like no doubt? I mean, a doubt raadu atla namminchadam anamata. As she entered right into the house of Nanda Maharaja and she picked up Krishna, her breast was smeared with enough poison to kill thousands of grown men. And she put that deadly breast into Krishna's mouth, and Krishna, little tiny baby. Imagine such a powerful Rakshasi. He could imagine, right? Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivisto. How can he imagine? He is situated in Putana's heart also. So everything comes from Krishna. So he knows everything. He knows the intention. So imagine such a powerful Rakshasi who had the strength of 10,000 elephants. The strength of Putana is 10,000 elephants. Imagine that. She was motivated to murder this helplessly appearing baby, infant child, who hardly was at the age where he could even crawl. What to speak of see properly or talk. So she took this tiny infant into her arms. She put her breast into his mouth, and just like a child sucking from mother, he began to drink the milk. Krishna began to drink the milk. And he sucked all the milk from her body. And then he continued to suck and suck until her very life air started coming into his mouth. She is getting started pain. Until her very life air started coming into his mouth. And she was feeling so much pain and so much fear that she began to scream with tumultuous roar. Leave me, child, leave me, child. We have seen that, what is that? Little Krishna, the series. Little Krishna series is there, right? Oh, actually, they have beautifully made those 3 Little Krishna series. You can see that past time. So she was leaving. Actually, she's unable to tolerate the pain because life air means end of his day's life. Actually, it's the last minute. Leave me, child, leave me. Then she ran out of the house. She assumed her original form, 8 miles big, right? It said her mouth was like a mountain cave. Her thighs were like, these are descriptions of how he looks like in original form, right? It is said her mouth was like a mountain cave. Her thighs were like river banks. Her breasts were like huge mountains. Her hair was like trees. Her eyes were like sunken wells. Her belly was like an empty lake. Her fingers were like huge bridges, and the little tiny baby child, like a speck, was crawling upon her, sucking. He's looking very small. Krishna is looking very small baby, and is at past time. If you look at in the video, she's scrolling on the ground here and there, is unable to tolerate. And he sucked very life from her body, and she screamed and died. Now, such a demon with such ill motives, Krishna did not see any of her ill motives. So here, children, forgiveness, the nature of forgiveness of Supreme Lord. How Maharaj quoted this past time? Because see here, for the nature of forgiveness, nature of the Supreme Lord. Such a demon with such ill motives, even though she has those kind of ill motives, acting like mother, atla namminchena. What is Krishna is saying here? Krishna is doing here. Krishna did not see any of her ill motives. He did not consider that she came to kill him. He did not consider that not only did she kill him, but she was famous because she had killed thousands and thousands of other infant babies before she came to Krishna. That is why Kamsa specifically sent her, because she was very famous at killing little babies. What a sinful, evil woman. But Krishna only saw that, this nice lady, she has offered me her milk just like my mother Yashoda offers me milk. He only saw the good intent. He only saw that part of her. And therefore, he gave her the liberation of becoming his mother in Golok Vrindavan. How Krishna is willing to just see whatever little good is even in the worst person. And how quick we are to see the bad even in the best people. So this pastime, what Krishna's nature is saying, is actually is eternal forgiver in one times. Alagani manam tappulu cheyakunda, we have to correct ourselves gradually, but is ever forgiver. Whenever we turn to Krishna, is a very most happiest person. Oh, this soul is come back to me after so many tribulations, sufferings, right? So forgiveness, the quality of forgiveness he has seen in the pastime of Putana. Only good in the devotees also. Paradukha dukhi, that is right. The pure devotee, see who is pure devotee? Who endowed with divine qualities. Who endowed with divine qualities. One of the qualities is forgiveness. Even though he commit mistakes to that, even though he hamper or giving many problems to that person, the devotee, pure devotee knows they're all temporary. My body is temporary. Whatever I get, honor, dishonor, temporary. The pure devotee's consciousness is like that. It's okay, he has committed mistakes due to his, ignorance. It's okay. I just forget it. I'll continue with my friendship. Devotee's qualities, forgiveness. So I want to read some of the from Prabhupada's lectures and letters and some of the important info about the forgiveness Srila Prabhupada has given. Okay, so let me see. Forgiveness is an essential subject. What is saying here? Forgiveness is understood as a deliberate choice to release feelings of anger, resentment, and vengeance. Right? Those are the feelings, negative feelings, toward a person who has offended us, without considering whether the offender deserves our forgiveness. By forgiving for someone, we make the decision to stop judging the person who harmed us and let go the expectation of even an apology. So the beauty of forgiveness is when we forgive someone, we make the decision to stop judging the person who harmed us and let go the expectation of even an apology. So replacing negative emotions, see, this anger, resentment, vengeance, these are all negative feelings in our body. Forgiveness is a good quality. So that's where Krishna says the divine quality. Replacing negative emotions and the desire to punish the transgressor, we express compassion and kindness. We express compassion, kindness. For most of us, this art does not come naturally. Problem is that's a problem. So we wanted to, మనం కోపం తీర్చుకోవాలి ఆ వ్యక్తి పైన, అట్లా ఉంటుంది, రైట్? ద మూడ్ ఏదైనా మనకు సంబడి హార్మ్స్ టు అస్, ఆ కోపం ఉంటుంది, ఇమీడియట్లీ ఆ నేచర్, ఆ క్వాలిటీ రాదు. ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఇస్ దట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ కమ్ నేచురలీ. It's not the forgiveness quality not come naturally. We have to develop that quality. And the task of forgiveness takes some inner work. So here is giving some tips how to develop this forgiveness. So some inner work, what is it? Research on the benefits of forgiveness on health and longevity reveals that forgiveness is positively correlated with stronger circulatory and immune systems. Psychologically speaking, people who forgive more willingly are less likely to be depressed and anxious. A good quality, right? And psychological experience in our body. When we forgive somebody, what happens? Is less likely to be depression and anxious, and more likely to be happy. These merits of forgiveness seem to forecast a longer, more pleasant life. Our response to personal insult has a lasting effect on our well-being. If we think about, somebody insulted us or something, happened to us, if we meditate upon that, bad activity, it kills us. It kills us. So when we this is the thing. That's where when we develop the forgiveness, we become peaceful. That's it. Yeah, forgive. That's it. Just forget about it. Whatever happens, it's okay. It's maybe my behavior or that person's behavior. Something happens. So here one more thing. Certainly, when we offend someone, we should hope to be forgiven, as we would not want to be the cause of such a burden for ourselves or for others. One faith in particular asks, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Srila Prabhupada books, let us see few things. A Brahmana, this is in Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the purport. A Brahmana is highly qualified when he can control his senses and mind, when he is a learned scholar in spiritual science, and when he is tolerant and forgiving. Another one, those who are advanced in transcendental consciousness, that means Krishna consciousness. See, how do we develop this forgiveness? We have path, we have process. Chant the holy names of the Lord. We are acting on the mode of Shuddha Sattva platform, right? These three modes, chanting is situated beyond the three modes, because there is no difference between Krishna and his holy name. That means the holy name is so pure, so potent. With the holy name, we develop godly qualities. One of the qualities is forgiveness. Chant the holy names. Those who are advanced in transcendental consciousness or Krishna consciousness are never envious. Advanced in the initial stage, we are still struggling with these bad qualities. But when we progress, when we advance, we see good in others. We don't see bad in others. There is a problem, right? We all see one example, right? ఒక పేపర్ పైన, తెలుగులో చెప్తున్నాను, ఒక పేపర్ పైన ఒక డాట్ ఉందనుకోండి. ఒక డాట్ ఉంటే మనం అందరం కూడా ఏం చూస్తాం? ఫస్ట్ ఆ డాట్నే చూస్తాం, చుట్టూ ఉన్న తెల్లదాన్ని చూడము, తెల్ల పేపర్లో బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ చూడము. ఇనిషియల్ అంటే చూడండి ఎట్లా ఉంటుందంటే, ఒక పేపర్ మీద ఒక డాట్ చూస్తే ఫస్ట్ అదే చూస్తాం, చుట్టుపక్కల తెల్లగా అవన్నీ చూడం. ఎప్పుడైతే ఒక వ్యక్తిలో బ్యాడ్ క్వాలిటీస్ ఏమైనా కనిపించాయి అనుకోండి, దాన్నే పాయింట్అవుట్ చేస్తాం. చుట్టూ తనకి ఎన్నో కొన్ని మంచి లక్షణాలు ఉంటాయి ఒక వ్యక్తికి, డివోటీకి కానీ ఒక బయట వ్యక్తికి కానీ, రైట్? So that's a problem. So we have to develop forgiveness. We have to develop the forgiveness. And method is chant. Chanting is a medicine for everything actually, because it's Krishna. That's why it's called Harinama Prabhu, right? Harinama Prabhu ki jai. We say that. What we say? Harinama Prabhu ki jai. We are associating with Krishna, even though Krishna is not visible to our blunt senses, but he is there in the holy name, right? Bhagavatam prayer one is there, one verse. Kali kalena nama rupa dash avatara. Cheppandi. Kali Kalena Namarupa Krishna Avatara. Krishna Avatara. The Krishna has appeared as a holy name in this age of Kali. So with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra only we develop the qualities. Okay, what is saying here, Prabhupada? Those who are advanced in transcendental consciousness or Krishna consciousness are never envious, neither of the soul nor of the activities of the soul under the influence of material nature. Advanced transcendentalists are called Sudhiyaha. Sudhi means intelligent. Sudhi means highly advanced, and Sudhi means devotee. One who is both devoted and highly advanced in intelligence does not take action against the soul or the body. If there is any discrepancy, he forgives. It is said that forgiveness is a quality of those who are advancing spiritual knowledge. So we can check ourselves actually, including me. Actually, this class is for me, for myself, to develop this quality of forgiveness. I am not there yet. I'm still struggling a lot. So I need your blessings and prayers to develop this quality. So when we advance, we check ourselves actually. We can easily check how are we progressing in Krishna consciousness. Are we attached to Krishna and his holy name, his services, or are we attached to materialistic activities? We can easily check. We are progressing means how much we get interest, how much we get love and affection towards Krishna and his activities, Krishna conscious related activities. So we can check these things. Forgiveness, I mean, am I forgiving or am I getting this angry? How am I getting angry? We can check, right? So when the mind is steadfast, it is called enduring. And one's ability to tolerate others' offenses is also called endurance. Therefore, forgiveness, endurance can be synonymous. Another forgiveness synonym is endurance. Srila Prabhupada says in the Nectar of Devotion, chapter 31, this statement. When the mind is steadfast, is steadfast? We have to put training. We have to give the training to the mind, right? That's why Prabhupada emphasized 16 rounds minimum. If somebody progress in Krishna consciousness, 16 rounds is the minimum. 2 hours of dedicated time give to Krishna every day, so that you get the steadfast in mind. Mind will be controlled automatically if we sincerely practice it. So it's what is saying Srila Prabhupada here. When the mind is steadfast, is called enduring, and one's ability to tolerate others' offenses is called endurance. Therefore, forgiveness, endurance can be synonymous. One more thing, and let us go through Bhagavad-Gita verses, and some of the Bhagavatam verses talks about the forgiveness. Let me read 2 more Srila Prabhupada's purports from different books. So a person who can tolerate all kinds of offenses from the opposite party is known to be forgiving. So Krishna, even though if you are chanting offensively, is forgiving, right? One or some other day, he will come to the attentive platform, chant nicely. In the beginning, he is going to forgive. Otherwise, what is the hope? When we chant the holy names, our mind becomes too much disturbing. But still, if we show sincerity by taking up the beads and chanting, even though if it is offensive chanting, it is very good. Krishna knows the intent behind it. He's still struggling with mind. He's going to forgive. He's going to forgive, and he's going to bestow upon mercy upon us when we take up the seriousness in the chanting of the holy names. What is saying here, Srila Prabhupada? A person who can tolerate all kinds of offenses from the opposite party is known to be forgiving. Lord Krishna's forgiving quality is described in the Shishupala Vadha in connection with his forbidding the killing of Shishupala. In the arena of Rajasuya, sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhishthira, when Shishupala began to call Lord Krishna ill names, Krishna did not care and remained silent. Some of the people at the arena were prepared to kill Shishupala, but Krishna restricted them. He was so forgiving until 99. There is a benediction, yes, right? After 100th, ill names of Krishna, then he is going to die by Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra, but it's different. But 99 times, so much Shishupala, what is saying is ఏమంటారు అంత రాజ్యసభలో మహారాజ్ యుధిష్ఠిర్ అది రాజసూయ యోగి, రైట్? Lavan is helping here. Rajasuya yoga, right? Rajasuya yoga. 99 times he tolerate and forgiven. He was so 99 times ఎట్లా తిట్టేవాడు అంటే కృష్ణుని చాలా ఘోరంగా actually even though it's different, the Mahabharata serial is there, some of the things
99 తప్పులు
99 mistakes, 99 times he tolerated and forgiven, and 100th time because he got that after 100 is going to be died. So that's so Krishna's forgiveness nature. So again, the duty of a Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating like the sun. So how beautifully Srila Prabhupada written in purport. The duty of a Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating like the sun. Surya laga shaktivantamayanaటువంటి ఇస్తుందంట ఆ క్వాలిటీ డెవలప్ చేసుకుంటే. The supreme personality of God, Hari, is pleased with those who are forgiving. Right? Because he only given that quality. In the Bhagavad-Gita is saying, let us read those verses. But right, so forgiveness. So in order to develop forgiveness and all the good qualities, we take up the chanting process. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's one thing. So let me share a couple more verses in connection with forgiveness. And I wanted to, we all recite, there is beautiful prayers, aparada shodhana mantras, requesting forgiveness for our dealings when we do devotional activities. Let us do at the end. But let me show some of the verses from the scriptures. Okay, so right. Yeah. So here, let me see first in Bhagavatam. Sri Sukha Uvacha, Tataschano dinam dharmaha satyam saucham kshamadaya kalena balina rajan nankshanti ayur balam sratihi. So Sri Sukha Uvacha saying, this is in Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 12, canto 12, last canto, the age of deterioration. The age of deterioration means the Kali Yuga qualities describing in this canto, in this 12th canto. And chapter 2 is talking about, what is the title of chapter 2? The symptoms of Kali Yuga. The symptoms of Kali Yuga. So especially the Kshama word is here. Kshama means tolerance. There is another meaning. Tolerance, excuse, endurance. These are the synonyms for forgiveness. So Sri Sukha Uvacha, Tataschanu dinam dharmaha satyam saucham kshamadaya kalena balina rajan Nangshati ayur balam smritihi. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let me read this one. Sukadeva Goswami said, what he is saying? Then, O king, religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life, physical strength, and memory will all diminish day by day because of the powerful influence of the age of Kali. It is a challenging situation for us to develop forgiveness in the age of Kali. See, then how are we going back to Godhead Prabhuji and Mataris unless we have good qualities? Challenging situation, right? So here it is describing about the diminishing the quality of forgiveness, right? ఏదైనా చిన్న తప్పు చేసినా, ఏదైనా ఒక వ్యక్తి మనకు ఏదైనా చేసినా, మనం వెంటనే ఎట్లా కోపం తీర్చుకోవాలా, ఎట్లా అది చేయాలని చెప్పి మనకు ఉంటుంది కదా. నాట్ ఓన్లీ మోస్ట్లీ మనం చూస్తున్నాం, అంటే అట్లా అంత ఈజీగా డెవలప్ చేసుకోలేము క్వాలిటీ. వీ హ్యావ్ టు వర్క్ ఆన్ ఇట్. సో ఇట్స్ కలియు ఇస్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ one quality. in this Kali Yuga. Day by day, these are qualities are diminishing due to influence of Kali Yuga. So Prabhupada, what is saying here, Kshama? Let me read in the Prabhupada. Right. Right. Kshama, tolerance for forgiveness, is diminishing as well, because there is no practical method by which people can purify themselves and thus become free of envy. Unless one is purified by chanting the holy names of the Lord in an authorized program of spiritual improvement, the mind will be overwhelmed by anger, envy, and all sorts of small-mindedness. That's the problem. Prabhupada is giving here method. Unless one is purified by the chanting the holy names of the Lord in an authorized program of spiritual improvement, the mind will be overwhelmed by anger, envy, and all sorts of small-mindedness. So that is one quality is explaining in this Srimad Bhagavatam. It's not diminishing day by day. Right. So in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gita, 16th chapter, 1 to 3, 3 slokas. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodhas Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam Daya Bhuteshu Aloluptam Madhavam Hirir Achapalam Teja. Please see this important verse. Teja Kshama Dhritir Saucham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. What is saying? Teja Kshama Dhriti Saucham. Kshama, forgiveness. What is saying here? Forgiveness. Look at here. These are the qualities. Belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. I'm requesting any Mataji, please read this translation. One of the qualities, forgiveness, is there in there. Anybody, please read the Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead.
Translation and Perpetual Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty. Yes, Prabhuji. Steady determination.
Okay, yeah.
Study, determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Hare Krishna.
See, all these qualities, thank you, Mataji, all these qualities progressively, gradually we can develop, for sure, when we chant the holy names of the Lord. In previous verse, Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, right? Unless one is purified by chanting the holy names of the Lord, in an authorized program of spiritual improvement, the mind will be overwhelmed. Unless we put ourselves in the authenticated process, there is no question of developing these qualities. The first thing is to chant the holy names of the Lord. So those 2 hours are glorious hours actually. If you think about it, those 2 hours, sitting in one place, meditating upon the Lord's holy name, over time, these qualities definitely develop in one's body. But that's for sure. Krishna is going to give the mercy, Prabhuji and Mataji. For sure, guaranteed. Many verses, Krishna says, Abhayahasta Istadu Bhavantu. If we develop those qualities. See, simple thing. First and foremost thing is chant the holy names of the Lord. That's it. Take the bead bag in any situation, while traveling, sitting at home, right? Always chant the holy names of the Lord. But 2 hours in the morning hours, That is a process as given by Srila Prabhupada, who is a great devotee of Lord, pure devotee of the Lord. Right? So these qualities gradually we can able to develop. That is there, unless we put ourselves into the process. There is a philosophy. There is a jnana vijnana, right? We all know. Jnana means theoretical knowledge. Theoretical knowledge means Bhagavad-Gita, Bhagavatam, we read it. We read it. Unless we put into practice, by put into service, no cost, no use. Problem ఏమైతుందంటే knowledge వచ్చిన తర్వాత if we cannot share, if we cannot use it for the service, that knowledge is going to be lost over time, because it's going to be forgetful over time. Whatever we know, we share it to others. Whatever we experience in this process, share it with others. First with ourselves. Then we definitely feel happiness over time. Then share it to others. Knowledge. Bring people to Krishna consciousness. Give prasad. Right? So this is one of the qualities mentioned, forgiveness, kshama. So what Prabhupada writes in this purport, this is a big purport, right? It's a big purport. Not in this one. 16, okay. Forgiveness. What he has written is Srila Prabhupada in this purport. Let us see. Right. The Kshatriyas should always be very strong to be able to give protection to the weak. That is the Tejas. They should not pose themselves as non-violent. That's the other qualities describing here. If violence is required, they must exhibit it. But a person who is able to curb down his enemy may, under certain conditions, show forgiveness. He may excuse minor offenses. So forgiveness అనేది ఇక్కడ క్షత్రియులకు అవసరం ఉన్నప్పుడే చూపారు. అంటే ఒక వ్యక్తి who is able to curb down his enemy under certain conditions. See, అదేంటది ఫాస్ట్ టైం ఉంది యాక్చువల్గా. Okay, let me recall. And one more in another place in Bhagavad-Gita, 10th chapter, 4 to 5 verses. What is saying is here Krishna. All these qualities created by Krishna. That is what the slokas all about is. Buddhir jnanam asammoha kshama satyam dama sama sukham dukkham bhavo bhavo bhayam cha bhayam evacha ahimsa samatastustis tapodanam yasho yashaha bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva prithagvidaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. Bhutanam matta, from me. So when he created these qualities, how to develop these qualities? We have to please that personality, right? When we please that personality, he bestows these qualities. Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad-Gita, right? 10th chapter, 4th verse. These qualities created by him alone. Truthfulness, control of the senses, forgiveness, delusion, doubt, free from doubt and delusion. Knowledge, intelligence, right? There is one verse, right? You all remember that important verse. Sarvasya cha hamriti sannivishta matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness. Knowledge come from Krishna. All these qualities come from because he has created all these qualities. In order to possess these qualities, we have to please the Supreme Lord. How do we please the Supreme Lord? By chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Right? So that is one thing. There is one more verse, and then we'll wrap up with Aparada Shodhana mantras. So this is one beautiful prayer. This is Arjuna prayers. What he is saying? Arjuna prayer. And here also, Krishna's nature, forgiveness nature is showing. 11.41, 11th chapter, 41 to 42 verses. Let me read this one, especially this one I will sing. Saketi matva prashabham yad uttam e Krishna he Yadav e saketi agyata mahimanam tavedam maya pramadat pranayena vapi yachava arshartam asat krito sihi vihara sayyasana bhojaneshu ekota vapi achyuta tat samaksham tat క్షమయే త్వం అహం అపరమేయం. క్షమది ఇక్కడ క్షమ అని ఉంది కదా, ఆస్క్ ఫర్గివ్నెస్. క్షమయే, ఆస్కింగ్ ఫర్గివ్నెస్. ఏంటిది, ఏం చెప్తున్నారు ఇక్కడ? థింకింగ్ ఆఫ్ యూ యాజ్ మై ఫ్రెండ్ ఐ హ్యావ్ ర్యాష్లీ అడ్రస్డ్ యూ. దిస్ ఈజ్ అర్జునాస్ ఫీలింగ్స్. థింకింగ్ ఆఫ్ యూ యాజ్ మై ఫ్రెండ్ ఐ హ్యావ్ ర్యాష్లీ అడ్రస్డ్ యూ, ఓ కృష్ణ, ఓ యాదవ్, ఓ మై ఫ్రెండ్, నాట్ నోయింగ్ యువర్ గ్లోరీస్. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times. Jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone, sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. After seeing this Vishwarupa, after seeing, understanding Krishna's position, his feelings, Arjuna's feelings, please forgive me. I treated as a, oh Krishna, I treated not respectfully. Oh Krishna, oh Yadava, oh my friend, just like friend, మన ఫ్రెండ్స్ రారా, ఏంద్రా, ఎక్కడ ఉన్నారా, బాగున్నారా, అట్లాంటి ఫీలింగ్ అన్నమాట. బాధపడుతున్నారే కృష్ణ, అర్జున ఇస్ ఫెల్ట్ బ్యాడ్. ప్లీజ్ ఫర్గివ్ మీ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఐ మే హ్యావ్ డన్ మ్యాడ్నెస్ ఆర్ ఇన్ లవ్. విత్ లవ్, ప్రేమతోని, లేదా పిచ్చితనంతో, ఫ్రెండ్షిప్లో, అలా అంటే బాధ. ప్లీజ్ ఫర్గివ్ మీ అని అడుగుతున్నాడు అర్జునుడు. కృష్ణుడు ఏం చేస్తుండే? కృష్ణుడు ఇక్కడ అద్భుతమైనటువంటి పర్పోర్ట్ రాసిన శ్రీల ప్రభుపాద. ఆల్దో Krishna is manifested before Arjuna in his universal form, Arjuna remembers his friendly relationship with Krishna and is therefore asking pardon and requesting Krishna to excuse him for the many informal gestures which arise out of friendship. He is admitting that formerly he did not know that Krishna could assume such a universal form. Although Krishna explained it as his intimate friend, Arjuna did not know how many times he may have dishonored Krishna by addressing him, oh my friend, oh Krishna, oh Yadava, like that, without acknowledging his opulence. But Krishna, see again, forgiveness of Lord. But Krishna is so kind and merciful that in spite of such a opulence, he played with Arjuna as a friend. Such is the transcendental loving reciprocation between the devotee and the Lord. The relationship between the living entity and his Krishna is fixed eternally. It cannot be forgotten, as we can see from the behavior of Arjuna. Although Arjuna has seen the opulence in the universal form, he cannot forget his friendly relationship with Krishna. But Krishna loves that friendship and forgives. It's okay, we are friends and you are wonderful devotee. Krishna is like that. Krishna is the forgiving nature of Krishna. This song, Jahnavi Mataji, I want to sing. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi. Friendship. ఇక్కడ ఏం చూడాలంటే ఫ్రెండ్షిప్, బట్ కృష్ణ లవ్స్ దట్ ఫ్రెండ్షిప్. కృష్ణ డజంట్ టేక్ ఫర్గివింగ్. ఇట్స్ ఓకే, యు ఆర్ మై ఫ్రెండ్. Mataji, this wonderful sung this song, Jahnavi Harrison, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Beautiful. So with this, I wanted to show Aparada Shodhana mantras. We all have to learn actually. We are practicing devotional service since some time. We have to learn that Aparada Shodhana mantras. Forgiveness, begging at the lotus feet of the Lord. That is also very important. Let me share. And we all recite that. Please repeat after me. Okay, so let me share. Stop share and just start sharing again. What is that? Session. Okay, so here only. Yes. Slide mode. Share. This one. So this is the, see, after any activity, actually, after even chanting also, we have to remember this. Even after chanting also, we have to remember this aparada shodhana mantras. We don't know whether we chant attentively or inattentively, sometimes, only mechanically, right? So these are activities, devotional activities. Chanting is one of the devotional activity. Arati, offering bhoga, dressing. So in the deity worship, we learn this. After everything done, we recite these verses in temple, at home. And actually, I have given these prayers to some of our devotees during our deities, welcoming deities, governor deities. If anybody wants, I'll share this. So please repeat after me. Please learn this important prayers. Aparada Shodhana mantras, verses for requesting forgiveness for one's offenses. We have to beg for the mercy of the Lord. We have to beg for these offenses, beg for forgiveness. So please repeat after me. Okay, and we'll read this translation also. First, let me do one time, and I'll do somebody. I need help here to read translations. I'll do sloka. I'll recite sloka. Translation, somebody please lift your hand and recite. Read the translation. Okay. Mata is Prabhuji's. Hare Krishna. Anybody likes to read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Suma Mataji, Hare Krishna, please. Mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktihinam janardana yat pujitam maya devam paripurnam tadasme. Tarvata manam practice chesam Mataji, but మీరు translation చదవండి.
Okay, Prabhuji. Oh my Lord, oh Janardhana, whatever little puja or worship that has been performed by me, although it is without devotion, without proper mantras, and without the proper performance, please let that become complete.
यद्दत्तं भक्ति मात्रेण पत्रं पुष्पं फलं जलम् आवेदितं निवेद्यं तु तत् गृहानुकम्पया.
Whatever has been offered with devotion, the leaf, the flower, the water, the fruit, the food offering, please accept it out of your causeless mercy.
विधिहीनं मन्त्रहीनं यत्किञ्चित् उपपादितं क्रियामन्त्रविहीनं पातत् सर्वं क्षन्तुमर्हसि.
Whatever has happened without the proper chanting of the mantra or without following the proper procedure, kindly forgive all that.
अज्ञानात् अथवा ज्ञानात् अशुभं यन्मयं कृतं क्षन्तुमर्हति तत्सर्वं दास्येनैव गृहाणमं स्थितिसेवा गतिर्यात्रा स्मृतिश्चिन्ता स्तुतिर्वाचा भूयात् सर्वात्मनो विष्णु मदीयं त्वयि चेष्टितम्.
Whatever inauspicious things I have done out of ignorance or unknowingly, please forgive that and accept me as your insignificant servant. Let my normal condition be service. Let my movement be holy pilgrimage. Let my thought be remembrance of you. Let my words be glorification of you. O Vishnu, let my activities with my whole mind, body, and soul be engaged in you.
अपराध सहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽहम् इति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व मधुसूदन.
Thousands of offenses are performed by me day and night, but thinking of me as your servant, kindly forgive those, O Madhusudana.
प्रतिज्ञा तव गोविंद नामे भक्त प्रणश्यति इति संस्मृत्य प्राणान् संधारयाम्यहम्.
O Govinda, your promise is that your devotee will never perish. By remembering this over and over again, I am able to retain my life heirs.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you very much, Mataji, for the translation reading. Now, devotees, please learn. I'll repeat. Please repeat after me, then we'll wrap up the class. And any questions, let us discuss. Okay, please repeat after me one time. Mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktihinam janardana
भक्तिहीनं जनार्दन
यत् पूजितं मया देव
यत् पूजितं मया देवा
परिपूर्णं तदास्तु मे।
परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे।
यद्दत्तं भक्तिमात्रेण
यद्दत्तं
पत्रं पुष्पं फलं जलम्
पत्रं पुष्पं फलं जलम्
आवेदितं निवेद्यन्
आवेदितं निवेद्यं
तत्गृहानुकम्पया
सुदत्गृहानकम्पया
विधिहीनं मन्त्रहीनं
विधिहीनं
विधिहीनं
मन्त्रहीनं
मन्त्रहीनं
यत्किञ्चित् उपपादितं
यत्किञ्चित् उपादितं
क्रियामन्त्रविहीनं
क्रियामन्त्रविहीनं
वा तत्सर्वं क्षन्तुमर्हसि।
सर्वं कसन्
अज्ञानात् अथवा ज्ञानात्
ज्ञानात्
अशुभं यन्मयं कृतं
यन्मयं कृतं
क्षन्तुमर्हसि तत्सर्वं दास्येनैव गृहाण माम्। स्थितिसेवा गतिर्यात्रा स्मृतिश्चिन्ता स्थितिर्वाच भूयात् सर्वात्मनो विष्णु मदीयं त्वयि चेष्टितम् अपराधसहस्राणि
अपराधानि
क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया
क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया
दासोऽहम् इति मां मत्वा
दासोऽहमिति मां
क्षमस्व मधुसूदन। प्रतिज्ञा तव गोविन्द नामे भक्ता प्रणश्यति इति संस्मृत्य प्राणान् सन्धारयाम्यहम्। With enthusiastically. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
हरे कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Thank you very much, Mataji Prabhuji, for reciting after me. So that is the beauty. So chanting the holy names of the Lord, that meaning you all know the meaning of chanting the holy names of the Lord. Krishna, please engage me. Radharani, Balaram, Rama, please engage me in your service. When we engage in his service, so all auspicious qualities will develop. It's for sure. There is no other way. Krishna has to give that. Has to give that. So we just have to show seriousness in the process. Show the seriousness in the process. Show sincerity. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna, Mataji Prabhuji, for your hearing. Any questions or any comments or anything to add? Please, Ayar Prabhu, Suma Mataji, Akinchan Prabhu, Subara Prabhu, anybody, please. Anybody wants to share anything? Actually, there
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
There are many pastimes actually for forgiveness. I have chosen some. Yes, yeah, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. First of all, happy Krishna conscious birthday Prabhuji. I'll pray at the lotus feet of your favorite deities, Radha Madan Mohan, to bless you.
మీ ఇంట్లో డైటీస్ ఉన్నాయి మొత్తం. మీ ఇంట్లో ఉన్న మీరు వర్షిపబుల్ సచినందన అండ్ నిత్యానంద రాయ్. Please pray for me. Please pray for me.
The topic you chose is very nice, Prabhuji, forgiveness, and that is the need of the hour, Prabhuji. In Kali Yuga, if there is one quality that we need in order to live
peacefully. That is forgiveness, Prabhuji. So it's a very nice topic that you chose. Sometimes I feel there is no option, Prabhuji. It's the only option that we have, that we forgive and move on. There is no other way. If we don't want to develop, as you said, depression, anxiety, all those problems, if we don't want all those things, the only way is to forgive. The only way is to forgive, Prabhuji. There is no other option, only I feel, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
And Krishna likes that quality, and he only, right? Krishna, as we have gone through different verses from Bhagavad-Gita, so these are the qualities endowed with divine nature.
Correct. Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
we have to develop. See, we are not there. I mean, they are there. I completely, my wife know about complete my. I also have to develop. Mataji. Please pray for me. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Anybody likes to add? Ayar Prabhu, Akinchan Prabhu,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Praveen
Prabhuji,
Prabhu, Japan. Yes.
Prabhuji, I have
Go.
one question.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, in this Kali Yuga, see, devotee, they understand this forgiveness and they know how to behave. But in our day-to-day life, we have more interaction with the non-devotees, right? So, if you, what is the, how we can judge that? What should the tolerance, the power, and how much we can tolerate? See, Prabhuji, if you tolerate in reality, right, then people they think is a fool, and they are just dumping all the garbage on you.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, Prabhu,
correct, Prabhuji. So,
there is a using the right way of anger. Prabhu. There is one no Hanuman is there, right? Example. Using of course there is a proper way to show anger, to change that person also. That is there. See, forgiveness means even though that person repeatedly harm us, and we just have to correct. That is no other way. Um, there is a tolerance levels, Prabhu, until some point, right? Then
yes, Prabhuji.
then we just have to show. When we show that anger, it has to change that person's behavior. Then that is the for helping him actually in other way. Um, so that is the thing, Prabhu. I mean, forgiveness. Um, of course, if that person repeatedly come in contact with us, doing, we know that person, right? For example, then we just have to correct. Yes, Prabhu. Hmm? Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Akinchan Prabhu, Mahesh Prabhu, Hari Bol,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhuji, thanks for this session, Prabhu. I mean, showing anger and having these qualities in devotee is such a nice topic you have taken, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the session, Prabhu.
Please pray for me to develop that qualities, Prabhu. You are wonderful devotee.
No, Prabhu. You have to pray for us, Prabhu. I am not qualified, to be frank. It's not for the sake of saying I'm saying, but surely that quality you have to push.
Push yesterday, yes. Friend, Ayar Prabhu, add something. And if you heard any previous lectures from various Maharajas, please help us here to understand more.
What I have read, Prabhuji, is mainly pure devotees, the great senior devotees like Maharaj, they go with compassion. That is the driving force. So I can't even imagine myself, but how I read is, even their anger is a compassion to help others. And also I have heard that whenever such great souls show some anger, it is just for the improvement of others. And for their mistake, they have already forgiven them. They just want to uplift them to progress in their spiritual life. And for that reason, they show the anger. So this forgiveness and anger, I don't know how I can build those qualities, but they are the inspiration. Like if I remember one incident where Maharaj scolded or just instructed others to tell the devotee to go out of the ashram, and it was a community decision, some kind of combined decision in a meeting. So when such things happen, the devotee obviously feels bad that, okay, I have done this big mistake and I'm not repenting for that. For that reason, I have been punished. But the Maharaj had so much compassion, although in front of all, that was done to set an example that no one should commit such big mistakes. But when it comes to individual, Maharaj immediately called him inside, gave him a big hug, and told, I am there. So when it comes to others, we have to set the example. So in that way, we may have to sometimes deal little tricky, but in our heart to heart, we should understand that Krishna is everywhere. Everyone is aspiring for that pure love of God, and what I can do to help him out, even in this tough situation he is going through. Although that person is in so much of ignorance, but still how I can help. That gesture of Maharaj really transformed the heart of that devotee. And within a short time, he was revived, he was realized of his mistake, and he was brought back. So such incidents really proves how broad-hearted those souls are, and that is definitely only possible by bhakti, by the chanting of Lord's name and this process of Krishna consciousness given by Srila Prabhupada. May you go to any personality development classes, they can tell you, you should be humble, you should be broad-minded, you should have a heart to accommodate others. But how long these phrases will stay? When it comes to situations, we'll fall back to our own conditionings. That will not stay in our mind, and we will not act with that. So those personality development classes are not of much help. I read few personal development books in my college days also. They all talk about phrases and ideal life, but no one showed the path how to follow it. They'll tell you need to be humble, but they will not say how to be humble, because they themselves not know. The key is to do bhakti, and with that you develop that humility, that compassion towards others. So you rightly emphasize that we should seriously do our sadhana. With that we can develop all these qualities, and I sincerely pray that I should get such qualities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anybody have anything? Or it's 9 o'clock. So Sunil Prabhu, anybody? Anandram Prabhu, Raju Prabhu, anything to add? Or we'll wrap.
Nothing to add, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Very enlightening.
You are wonderful. You are practicing. So you take up the process so quickly, and yeah, on the same page with all of us. Nice, Prabhu, and wonderful to see. And you are part of Sumamata congregation, and you got wonderful association there. And please pray for me on my material
Also,
birthday.
For me, for my family also. But we are continue to have your association.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Sunil Prabhu ki jai. You want to add
Happy
anything?
Krishna consciousness birthday, Prabhuji,
No,
to you.
Thank you so much.
Heartfelt prayer to you so that you progress in your spiritual journey. So I think on the class, very new things actually you shared with us, because some of the prayers and some of the things that you shared, like I have never heard of those things. So this was a new thing. So thank you for sharing those.
And Prabhu, I appreciate you also, because you are wonderfully practicing Krishna consciousness, even different diverse conditions. And you are a wonderful devotee and practicing that japa so nicely, that attending those japa sessions and sharing with us. Please have your association regularly, and give us your suggestions and improvements in my sadhana also. You are a senior as per age of.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Your blessing is with me. Thank you.
So let us wrap up, Prabhu, or anything. Mahesh Prabhu, you want to add anything? Very good.
I forgot, Prabhu.
Prabhu?
I forgot something, Prabhu. To say many happy returns of the day, Prabhu. Wish you a happy Krishna conscious birthday, and may Gopi Radha Vallabha bestow your choicest blessings.
Yes,
So
yes,
please pray for our entire Gachibowli Satsang, since you have a special entry or special association with Shri Radha Madan Mohan in ISKCON habits. So please pray for all of us, Prabhu.
I'm sure, yes, Prabhu. I definitely pray all of us for nicely progressing in the path of devotion service. And please pray for me. Yeah, that is a business transaction here. Okay.
So, thank you.
Required, yes.
Prabhuji,
Okay.
one last question.
Well, yes.
Prabhuji, with age, how to progress in our bhakti? You have been doing so wonderfully, and what plans you have, and how we can learn from anything, Prabhuji, retirement, raising children. Today is your birthday, so please enlighten us what is in your heart and what we can aspire for.
What should I say, Prabhu? When we were discussing in one-to-one calls many times, we have to take, see, as Prabhupada recommended, like after 50 years, we just have to minimize things. Just have to minimize, we have very little time. We never know how many years we are there in this, material world. Those time is very crucial after 50 years. And recommended after 50 years, you just have to focus on devotional activities. Of course, we have responsibilities there, family, children, their education, for their settlement. We have to work for them. Balancing needed, and so increase chanting. As soon as you mentioned previously also, as we grow in age, we should increase our rounds. That is the only hope. That's why Prabhupada is given minimum 60 rounds. We can do 32 rounds every day. We can do 64 rounds every day. That day, when we were in Somata's home, it's a blissful day actually. The complete day, forgetting everything. Even though mind is rolling here and there, it's a very, very blissful day to chant 108 rounds. Right? That is the potency. The Harinama Sankirtan Hare Krishna Mahamantra is going to change our destination. Prabhuji Sanmata is going to change our destination. That is the potency. What is that? Sikshastakam prayer, second verse. Namna makari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala. Namna makari bahuda nija sarva shakti. All potency is there in this holy names. Who is saying this one? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying in this Sikshastakam second verse. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Lord Krishna himself. But he is showing how to develop love of Godhead by showing his example, Prema Bhakti, Krishna Prema. So as he increases, we have to seriously take up the chanting and take up more services. Little work, 6 hours job. By that time 50 years means we have some savings, for our children, like that. But after 50 years, we just have to minimize some 6-hour job, some part-time job. Prabhupada writes this one, right? To maintain, right? What is that? Body and soul together. Work just like a statement is body and soul together. Just work, minimize this. But according to one's own situation, Prabhu, it's a one-to-one situation. And it's a family is different, unique situation, right? Some families. So in my personal situation, I wanted to, take up seriousness because, I am here in this process in some time. I need to take up more services and do good sadhana. And that's why after 50 years, I look for some, part-time to manage myself, that I have some plans after 55 years. Another 10 years, another 10 plus years I need to work, because my children's now, age. They are doing ninth and fourth class. I need to work at least 10 plus years. That means 55 years. And, then I have to save some money for them, and they give, especially my thing is, wanted to give this process, they naturally, practice devotional service, not forcefully. That's where we won't force our kids, there there is all of devotees mercy. And then during these years, when we were in US and when we are in here, this congregation, they are looking at all of us, and they know the process, and they are happily, they sit with us and they chant. That is one of the benediction Krishna has given us. Whenever we want to chant, I call to my children and they happily sit with us and chant. So, and by looking at all the devotees, by looking at this process, by looking at all this, and they have their friends, by looking at how are they progressing in their material education, as well as process, bhakti yoga process. They also get the inspiration. So that's where, so we are the teachers to our children, right? You all know. We are the teachers to our children. So we have to be more conscious about, and natural way to give the Krishna consciousness, not forcefully. That won't work. So that's the thing. Along with their responsibilities, Krishna consciousness has to continuously, cultivate in them, work for them, and work. Especially 3 lives we have, right? So professional life, family life, spiritual life. You have to balance 3. Challenging, actually. Every day is challenging. Work-wise, 14 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours we have to work. Couple, but still we have to continue in our sadhana. And thank you for being a part of this Jagannath service. Even though work is busy, family, many things, but still we spend some time to serve Lord. And thank you, Suma Mataji, for engaging me in that. And Ayyar Prabhu, let us do together and do some better services.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your nice quiz service. We learned so many things in a very easy manner, Prabhuji. Very nice.
Multiple choice.
Very nice.
Your powerhouse of services.
No, Prabhuji, I'm not doing anything. All posters are made by Meera Mataji. Quiz is made by you. I'm not doing anything.
But back in the t-shirts.
You are the force, Mataji.
The direction of service.
No, Prabhuji. All glories to you and Ayyar Prabhuji and Meera Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Beautiful t-shirt, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Mahamantra episode, backside Mahamantra episode.
Change. Last minute I was able to catch hold of him and Mahamantra on the back.
ఎందుకంటే ఎవరైనా చూసినా కూడా జనాలు చూడడం వల్ల కూడా they get some mercy.
So we should be surrounded by people who are wearing that t-shirt, Prabhuji, so that we can keep seeing it. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you so much. So let us conclude, Prabhu. What's your idea? You want to?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so much again. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Premanande Hari Bol. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hari Bol. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
Shri Giriraj Prabhuji ki jai. Hari Bol.
All Vaishnavrinda ki jai. All glories to all the wonderful Vaishnavas. Hari Bol.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.